Hello, hello, hello. Hello, for those of you who are just joining in. I'm Regina. So glad you're joining in today. I want to bring some encouraging words to you before my husband and I head out on this road. We're getting ready to go out and do some work today. And y'all pray for us that everything will go well. We'll be blessed and safe. But I wanted to start doing something which I started before and I would stop and stop. But now I'm making a commitment to start doing this. So I'm going to start bringing some verses to try and help encourage people through their day, starting out their day. I'm going to try and start doing these in the morning time and stuff like that. So I wanted to bring this one to you today. And normally I'll post these verses randomly on my Facebook page. I'll try and do them like every day. If I miss a day, then I'll try and make sure that I will post something the following day. The verse that I'm bringing today, the reason why I'm bringing these verses is so that we can incorporate them into our daily life. And I'm trying to find a way that we can build each other up, strengthen, encourage each other so that we start our day off right, so that our day will go smooth the entire day, and so that we could find ways that maybe we can improve our own lifestyles. And we know that when we start doing better in our own lifestyle, then God will also start blessing us. A lot of times, a lot of the things that we hold up in our own life, like things we want, blessings we want, we haven't gotten them yet, miracles we want, we haven't received them yet. It's usually because of something that we probably have done in our own life. It's not always because someone has been blocking us. Now, there are some situations where people have been blocking us spiritually from getting things that we want from God. But I have come to realize that a lot of times when you're not getting something that you actually want from God, it's usually because you haven't done something that you're supposed to be doing for God, or maybe your lifestyle has not been right with God. And so you yourself may have been blocking things from yourself. It's like putting up a barricade in front of yourself and blocking out all blessings. You put the barricade there. Nobody else put it there. You put it there. So in order for you to have that barricade removed, you can call in all kinds of friends you want to move it. But because you put it there, it's going to take you to be able to have it removed. So today we're going to learn some ways that we can start removing barricades that we ourselves placed on our own lives so that we can now start receiving the blessings from God. Remove the barricades from your own life and start receiving the blessings that God has for you. Today's verse coming from is John 15. John chapter 15, verse 2. John chapter 15, verse 2. It is a really cute verse. I read in the CEV version, and the reason why I read in the CEV version is because it makes it simple and plain for me. And I like things simple, exact, to the point. I don't like beating around the bush. I don't like any of that stuff. Sometimes I have a hard time with parables. I have to study and study and study. But I like things simple, straight to the point. So that's the reason why I read the CEV version. In John chapter 15, verse 2, it says, "He cuts away every branch of mine that doesn't produce fruit, but he trims clean every branch that does produce fruit, so that it will produce even more fruit." I'm going to read that again for you. John chapter 15, verse 2 says, "He," speaking of God, "cuts away every branch of mine that doesn't produce fruit, but he trims clean every branch that does produce fruit, so that it will produce even more fruit." We have to understand that this verse is talking about us. And also, in a sense, it is talking about other people that may come into your life. But the main focus is when he says he cuts away every branch of mine that doesn't produce fruit. I wrote a post this morning, and the post reads this on my Facebook page. If you're not on my Facebook page, go ahead, click and join. Ask for a friendship. I'll link out. Go ahead and friend you if you're going to be good. And we'll go ahead and get this out to you as well. So these are posted on my Facebook page every day for those of you who are just tuning in. And my comments that I write, and I usually write a little comments for the verses to try and help get some more clarity to the verse, and also to bring to light what we can do in our day to help us to move forward in that day, so that that day can start, like the verse says, start producing good fruit. So this verse I wrote, it says, sometimes God will show us things in our own life that we need to change or stop doing. Like tree branches that are no longer producing fruit, they need to be cut off so that the new fruit can begin to grow. God does this so that we can grow in our lives, so we can become successful in things we need in our life. And also, I put on here, there are also some people in your life who are like these tree branches. They once were very helpful to you, but just like these tree branches, they may have served their time, and now they may no longer be helpful to you. In fact, they may be stopping you from producing new beneficial relationships in your life. Maybe it's time to trim away those that are no longer helping you succeed in life, and it may be time for you to make room for those who will come into your life to help you grow from here. The first part of that is we need to change things in our own life. If there's something that you've been doing in your life and you probably don't know that it was wrong, or maybe someone brought it to your attention and you wanted to ignore it because you felt like they were attacking you when really they were really helping you, but because you weren't ready to receive it at that time, you chose to look at it as an attack. It may not have been an attack. It may have been a helpful hint to help you get on the right path. Maybe you need to start thinking about some of those conversations that people had with you, and maybe you need to start reconsidering some of the things that they said. Maybe they were beneficial for you, but at the time, you weren't ready to trim that branch away from yourself. Maybe today is time to trim that branch away from yourself. Stop doing the things that are causing harm for your own self and your relationships. Trim those things away and start doing things that are going to bring in new fruit in your own life. And that means finding things in your life that are good, but you're not going to be able to find the good in your own life until you find the things that are bad and trim those things away. Because remember, the bad leaves will stop the new branches from growing. The same thing with plants is the same thing in our lives. We have to trim away things in our life that are bad so that we can now get the things to grow in our lives that are good. A lot of times things that are happening or not happening in your life is, again, because of your own self. It's not necessarily because of anybody else. I know a lot of people want to put blame on a lot of people, but I believe the majority of the time when things are not happening in your life, it's for a reason. And usually it's probably because of something you have done, or maybe because of something you haven't done. So maybe it's time to go ahead and start trimming those things in your life that you need to cut away from so that you can start growing things in your life that are going to help you grow and be successful at the things you want in life. And let's go to the next part of this where I speak about friends. There are some friends in our lives that we've had, and friends come into our life, people say, for a time, for a season, for a reason, and so forth. And they do. But we have to not lose focus of why those friends are there. And we have to also stay focused on when it may be time for those friends to leave the relationship. Because just like stairs in life, there's a step for every level that you have to go up to. And if you stay on the bottom step, which is there for a purpose to get you to the next step, if you stay on that bottom step, you'll never reach the other steps that are up above. So just like in friendships, those friends are there for a reason, but you have to know and be able to determine when it's time for those friendships to maybe end. It doesn't mean that they have to end badly. It doesn't mean that you have to be rude or dismissive, but it may be a time where the friendship is just not where it used to be. And that may be part of the trimming process of your friendship relationships. And we have to do that so that you will be able to make room for the new friends that are going to come in and help you progress through the next stage in your life. Remember, you can't let things hold you back. A lot of times what people do is they will allow old relationships to stop them from building new relationships. And that could be a problem for you for your future endeavors. So it's okay to let go of some old relationships. It's okay to sever some ties. But you have to remember in life, what you're doing has to be successful for you and your endeavors in life. And sometimes that may mean trimming away some relationships and making room for some new ones. So I'm going to go back to this verse, and I want you to think about this as you go throughout your day today. John chapter 15, verse 2. It says in the CEV version, he cuts away every branch. And I think that's clever of God. He didn't say he cuts away some bad branches. He says he cuts away every branch. And the reason why God is always specific in his speaking, especially with this, when he says he cuts away every branch, every bad branch that doesn't produce fruit, is because he knows if you leave one bad thing in your life, even though you cut away several other bad things, or you leave one bad relationship in your life and you cut away several other bad relationships, God knows that that one bad thing that you keep holding on to and refuse to let go of may be the one thing that causes disruption in your entire endeavors that you're trying to do. Let me tell you, when it's time for you to let go of things that are holding you back or things that need to be cut or severed, you need to let go of all of it. Don't leave room for one rotten thing to spoil everything else. Let me tell you, just like fruit, when you get one bad spot on one apple, if it's left in the bag with all the other apples, eventually it will spread to all the other good apples. The same thing is, in fact, with your relationships and your own life. If you continue to leave one bad thing in your life, even though you cut away several others, that one bad thing may be the thing that severs and takes you away from all the good things that could be for you in your life. So today, think about this. And don't just say, I'll cut this one today and maybe that one tomorrow. Make today that you will cut away every, it says in here, John 15:2, he cuts away every branch of mine that doesn't produce fruit. Check yourself first before you go checking for your friends, okay? Make sure that you clean up yourself, because even when you go to those friends and try to clean them up, they're going to see the spot in your life and they're going to bring that forward and they're going to hold that against you. So when you're trying to clean up somebody else or maybe separate from somebody else, make sure you clean up yourself first, because I'm telling you, they'll always see the dirt in you before you even approach them. So when you go to people, go to them clean, wholehearted, no bad feelings, that you cleaned yourself, so that when you do have to separate these ties from other people, it will be a smooth transition. And they may even be willing to do it, and not in a negative sense. They may just say, listen, I understand it's time for you to grow. I understand it's time for you to move forward in your life. I'll be here if you need me, but it won't be a bad separation. It'll be a separation that's necessary simply so that you can proceed in life with the things that you need to do. Okay? So it doesn't have to be a bad thing. So think about this as you go through your day today. John chapter 15, verse 2, reading in the CEV version, he cuts away every branch of mine that doesn't produce fruit, but he trims clean every branch that does produce fruit so that it will produce even more fruit. Clean up your relationships, clean up yourself so that you can be able to proceed in life with the blessings and things that you want in life. It's time for you to receive your blessings. Here's a way you can do it. Do yourself a favor. Remove the barricades that you yourself placed in front of your life so that you can start receiving the blessings that you deserve. I love you. Pray for me as I'm praying for you. Stay healthy and safe. Love you. Bye.